What surprised me most? The fact that I had an arc. I thought I was dead after the miniseries. I didn't think I was coming back, man.
What surprised me most is that I existed, I survived beyond show one. The fact that, this is one of those rare shows where people have come on the show, played a small role, and it's developed into a major role. So, what's wonderful is that you have a group of writers that are very, very open to taking advantage of opportunities and wonderful actors, and we've had some of the most incredible, talented, gifted people on this show, and the writers take advantage of that, and they evolve these characters that sometimes might have gotten lost. So, Aaron Douglas over here was a character that came on the show and developed into one of the most amazing characters on the show, as you all know. I take my hat off to him. I always tell Aaron, I didn't know who he was until I met him up there in Vancouver, but once I met him, I realized that he's in every single movie ever made. But again, nobody ever knew just what an incredible actor he was, and I take my hat off. This is a group of wonderful actors, and I'm amazed that I'm still on the show, still alive, at least up until this point. And that's as far as I will go.
What was the biggest surprise?
I think the biggest surprise is finding out that my best friend was silent. And then finding out that my other best friend here was my chief and my colonel were both silent. I just couldn't handle it. And if you think I couldn't handle it, I have to say this, in all honesty, I've never seen actors rebel so furiously about changes in the script. You got to remember, we are getting it like you're getting it. You see the show, and whenever you finally get to see it, boom, you're on, and you get to see it. But it's a surprise. It's always a cliffhanger. It's always something that you didn't quite expect. It's like when we find Earth. We were very happy. Probably the happiest moment on the show, in the history of the show. The only happiest moment. Only to last about 42 seconds. We get on the Earth and find out that it's been nuked. And, it was very, ridiculous. And it's a true thing that's most, the one thing that I really thank Battlestar for doing is creating a truth, and it's stayed consistent to that truth. And therefore, when both these two were deemed Cylons, the rebellion started. It was very intense. This guy got really belligerent. This guy, to this day, Mike only refuses to accept it. So the biggest arc for me was the discovery of who, what we were as characters of the show, and of course also the unbelievable understanding that of what I've gone through. I think it's the most extraordinary character arc I've ever experienced, because here you have a very strong force of power and strength and character who ends up just completely crumbling and not being able to take it, and becomes an alcoholic and really blows it and loses it. And so for me, I'm very grateful that they gave me the opportunity to do that. Biography of Aaron Douglas.
The biggest surprising thing for me is the fact that the chief drinks more than I do. That my character can beat up Tomo's character, because in real life there's no way that would yeah, it's got to be finding out that the chief is a Cylon, and then trying to restrain Tomo from killing the Doctor.
You did an incredible job. You did an incredible job.
Throughout the rest of season 3, just kind of dotted a lot of being seen but not heard. And unfortunately, it won't be until next year, but then finally they brought Nowhere Around again and have some great stuff with Michael and Eddie, which I'm pretty excited about. But won't be until next year, so.
James.
I think it's interesting how everybody from the show, for me, the biggest surprise in my arc is that I stayed alive. I couldn't believe it. Knowing that, like, every other week, you get something where it's like, Baltar is mortally wounded. So yeah, it's a big surprise that the writing staff have been magnanimous enough to let me stick around. That's about it.
Do we have an audience question?